All right, it's tip of the day. This is a CH455 by the, I forget the name of the company, WCH in China. They also make a CN340 chip, the USB to RS-232, serial interface chip, and the drivers and stuff. So you can also think of this is an I2C part as well. So if you remember, I've done some videos on I2C port extenders where you have I2C in and parallel data out or parallel data in. Imagine taking one of those chips and making it a little bit fancier. That's what this is. It's going to be taking I2C in and then changing it into a 7-segment LED display driver. So 7x4 matrix, so you can have 4 digits, 7-segment displays, and then it automatically will scan those. You have segments and you have digits, right? And it'll do the automatic scanning, right? So that's what it has inside of it. It is an LED driver, I2C interface. So you only need 2 lines to have a nice, let's say a clock. You have 4 digits, hours and minutes, 4 digits. You could have this drive that display. All right, it is a little bit fancier than what I just described. It also can do keyboard decoding. Okay, before we get into the data sheet here, let's look at one of the application circuits. I think that will make it a little bit easier. It was too complicated. Yeah, this one here. So here you have I2C coming in, and you have the digits, and you have the segments, okay? It is a common anode, common cathode, probably maybe common cathode. I'm not sure. Anyway, it says it doesn't even need resistors in it because it does that automatically for you. So it's multiplexed, and you can also add a keyboard. So as it's scanning this thing, it can also scan the keyboard, and that goes into another digit, and you can monitor the keyboard. All right, and go back to the data sheet. Let's see here. The chip that we're going to be demoing today is this one. There's different 455s. We have a G, and it's a 16-pin SO16 surface mount. Pin eddies ground, you would imagine pin 16 would be VCC, but no, pin 14 is VCC, so it's kind of odd. All right. Let's see here. We have power, ground, we have the segments, tri-state output input. Segment 7 is just output only, so these can be in or out. And the digits are outputs. Active, let's see, active high level, okay. SDA and SCL with pull-up resistor, drain open input output. So it has a pull-up resistor built in with pull-up resistor. And so you don't need to add those, I guess. Keyboard interrupt. So when you push a key, as it's scanning, it can also generate an interrupt back to the microprocessor. Let's see here. Adopts dynamic scan for LEDs. Blah, 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 blah. Common cathode. Okay. Common cathode display. Blah, 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 blah. Corresponding. And here are the segments. All right, so key press. This is what the data comes back if you push a key. Serial interface, it's I2C. They never call it I2C because that's Philips branding. They just call it 2-wire serial interface. Set parameters, the output, blah, 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 blah. Load word, read key. Okay, so you can send it to different addresses for the different digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, different digits. All right, let's see here. What is the output? Low level output, segment, low volume. Can you set the brightness? I don't know. I haven't looked at the data sheet. Can you control the brightness? For LEDs, I'm trying to figure out how much current this thing's going to output. Okay, that's keyboard, that's serial. That's electrical application. It's talking about 200 milliamp for drive low segments, 20 milliamps, 20 milliamps, 4 milliamps. Low level output segments, digits. Yeah, I think it's 20 milliamps per segment. That's what I'm going with. Let's see here, LED drive. Maybe this will tell us. ISET. Oh, we have an ISET pin. Public ISET. So that current limits it. On 5-volt power, usually serial, connects 200 ohm resistor corresponding to 13 milliamp segment current. Okay, did I miss that? Where was the ISET? There's an ISET on the, oops, sorry. There's an ISET on this part, the 455K, but that's not the one I have. I have the G. So this one is fixed current. This one has an ISET. You can set the currents on the other one. So yeah, I'm going to stick with 20 milliamps. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Keyboard scan, drive current. You can do common anti-cathode. I think that's common anode. You have to put in some transistors. Application, the G version, which is the one that we have. So the application I'm going to show you is just that. It's just driving four digits. And here's another one that's just 4 keys. Okay, fine. That's for the K version, not the G version. Okay, so I say we go hook it up. Program, it's using subprogram, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's go hook it up, see if it works. Okay, to demo the chip, I'm going to be using this radio. It's a board out of a aircraft receiver, or aviation band receiver, I should say. And as you turn the encoder wheel here, the display updates. So the chip that is operating the display is the one that we just looked at the data sheet on. And press the button, we get a decimal place. Push the button. Anyway, you get the idea. So we'll be taking a look at some signals on the I2C talking to the part. All right, I've got it hooked up. I'm monitoring a couple extra lines too, but we'll take a look at those. But I have the I2C being monitored on the scope. So let me briefly describe what we're looking at here. As I turn the wheel that will update the display, these are actually the rotary encoder, the A and the B signals from the rotary encoder. So this trace is before that trace, and then if I go in the other direction, it's the opposite, right? And so it determines which way you're rotating the wheel, and you can see that once the wheel rotates, it has an interrupt, and it says, hey, you've got new data. And then these little pulses here are the I2C updating what's going on. So let me spin it again. Go the trigger in the middle here, spin, there we go. There's an I2C packet. And let's move it into the middle, and we'll spin it again. There we go. So there's the full I2C packet. We have an address. We have addresses 34, 35, 36, and 37. And at each address, we write data. So you can kind of, as I spin it, you can watch the data change. You can kind of see it down here too. As we go one direction and as we go the other direction. And as we go farther and farther, both of these change. So yeah, there you go. I2C is working, and that's pretty interesting. All right, so this unit here uses a daughter card that goes to the front panel at 90 degrees. It has a right angle header down here, and the chip that we've been looking at is this one right here, and it has its writing ground off, so they didn't want anybody to know which chip they used. But luckily, some people before me have figured out which chip it was, and you can see it online and stuff. This is called the R80. So if you search for R80 aviation receiver, there's a GitHub site where somebody has the schematic for this R80, and he identified the chip. That's where I found out about it. There are a bunch of these types of chips, but this one happens to be the one for chip of the day today. Okay. All right, well, that was chip of the day, an LED drive and keyboard control chip, I2C interface, CH455.